My name is Jose Galvan Martinez,
I'm Carolina Danu.
My name's Jessica.
and I predominantly work with ceramics. However, I do sculpture, painting, and printmaking.
I work in oil painting, ceramics, and printmaking.
And my medium is, well, it changes. I'm adaptive.
In a way, I guess art is the thing that kind of connects me to my roots and keeps me grounded. So it's a way to express a lot of emotions that I have that I'm not necessarily able to express through words. So art, in a way, it's my therapy. So I think that's why I do art, and also it's just something I enjoy, and I think I found my life calling with art. And it's something that I go to sleep thinking about and wake up and it's the first thing on my mind. So it's just become something that I absolutely love.
I only like art. I realized that really fast. My family wanted me to do stuff that's smart, like engineering, computer science. But my mom got stuck with an artist who only ever wanted to do art. So here we are, doing art. To be fair, as a child, I absolutely defaced our walls. They were covered in drawings everywhere. I'm sure they're still there in my childhood home. I'm sure my family was not happy about it, but it is what it is, and here we still are.
Actually finding that idea, I would have to say, just finding something that's gonna express what's really going on. And for me, I really like that deep meaning, and it could look very surface level, but there's so much going on, and like throughout the night I hear people saying different things, and sometimes it's like, oh, it just looks like a seahorse or just water, but really there's that deeper meaning. And so just having those little things about it that you know because you created it, and then having someone completely different say something else. But yeah.
My earliest memory of art is actually when I began making art. So I didn't really want to make art in the beginning. And I remember being inspired by anime, and I wanted to replicate and illustrate like the anime that I really enjoyed. So that inspired me to go ahead and pick up a couple color pencils, and begin drawing. So I remember staying up till like maybe 1 or 2 a.m. constantly for almost a full year, just doing fan art, and I think that's what motivated me to become a better artist.
You know, my uncle used to bring me these like coloring sheets of paper, and I'd start coloring, and then I'd start drawing them. And then my grandpa was a teacher, so he'd just bring old printer paper from work that was like stuff on the back, and he's like, oh, you could just draw on the other side. And I would just do that until I ran out. So yeah. Yeah, and he still is my biggest supporter. He's always like, yeah, you could just do art. He'd buy me these little like watercolor like painting, like magazines that teach you how to do it. They were in Russian, and I couldn't read Russian, but he translated them. So there's also that. So that, well, I don't really watercolor paint anymore, but it really did get me into just painting. And over time, I got from painting into ceramics, now into printmaking. So, I don't know what's going to be next. There could be something next. I wouldn't be surprised.
My earliest memory would have to be, it's actually what got me kind of started. My grandfather, he drew this like teddy bear, and he was no artist, but that's kind of what made me like, oh, I can actually do this, because I was always crafty, I was always doing something. And he was like, no, like stick with it, do it. And every single time, like, what are you working on? What are you doing? And so having him just show me that little teddy bear that I really wish I can find, but just that's what got me started. And then going to school for it and just expressing and finding my voice in my artwork. That is kind of how I remember it.
I guess my story, we all have stories, and I think it's important for us to share our stories because we learn a lot, not just from ourselves, but from each other and hearing our stories. So I want the world to hear and see my story and find some relatability to my story, and to kind of reflect on their own life.
Favorite story? Oh, that's a interesting one because I'm Eastern European and storytelling is the biggest thing. Either stories on TV or just like old babushkas. They just tell you stories. My grandpa, especially, he will just sit down and tell you the most random story out of nowhere, and you have no idea where it came from or where it's going. And it's like, yeah, I have a cousin in Siberia. It's like, oh, and then it turned into a completely different story. So yeah, and then we have all this mythology and stuff in Eastern Europe, and I try to like take from that storytelling energy and turn it into my paintings. That's why I'm so emotionally attached to surrealism, because I feel like it's the best way of doing it. So yeah, I don't remember the question, but storytelling.
I would say just keep going for whatever it is that you want to do, and as small as your idea could be, it could really change someone else's world. And I don't know, I thought I couldn't be in an art show, and here I am in an art show, and just, I don't know, things take you different places, and so just meeting different people and breaking out of your shell, I'd say just break that shell, fake it till you make it, and you'll get to where you want to be. That's what I would say.